Roman Reigns wants to face anyone. Backstage in that locker room, he doesn't care to Roman Reigns who it is. Bobby Lashley has arrived to Monday Night Raw. Bobby Lashley returns with an almighty victory next week. Kairi Sane comes to Monday Night Raw. But it has been 24 hours since we last saw this man. Returning to Monday Night Raw. It is none other than the villain, Marty Scurll. Goto submits. Scorpion Death drop to Scurll. May the battle between villain and vigilante commence again. Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This once again is a Monday Night Raw, but that's not really a surprise around here. Christmas anyway has come and gone. We all enjoyed a lovely Christmas break, but it is back to work here. And it is back on the road for Monday Night Raw towards the Royal Rumble. About a month to go until that event, and there are already plenty of talking points regarding how we get to said event. Raw ripping off ECW from last week, thinking they belong in Madison Square Garden all of a sudden. No. This is ECW's stomping ground now. You're in enemy territory. Nevertheless, we have a great night of action for you. We built it up last week. We announced it last week here on Monday Night Raw. And tonight, after some time off, Kairi Sane will make her debut on Monday Night Raw right here tonight as she goes one-on-one against one of the trailblazers of the women's division in Gail Kim. It's going to be a fabulous contest between those two, and I can't wait to see the Pirate Princess finally in action on Monday Night Raw. What an acquisition it was for them. What an evening it's going to be to watch her in action as well. It's going to be a joyous occasion to watch, but so too will our main event. You could call this a WrestleMania main event if you wanted to, and I'd probably agree with you. It's the 5-time world champion CM Punk one-on-one against the current world champion Sting. Sting had the headlines and had the talking points when he closed out last week's Monday Night Raw by attacking Marty Scurll, and now here tonight he has a match on its way against CM Punk. A colossal main event, one you do not want to miss to close out this evening, but to start it as well, we have a great one on its way for you, and what should be a pretty entertaining contest, I think. Hirooki Goto and Jason Jordan. It is the turn of two former champions taking each other on here one-on-one to kickstart things on this episode of Raw. How interesting that is. What a difference a week can make, really, the phrase there. Having some truth to it, because here is now the former United States champion, Hirooki Goto. Of course, if you saw Armageddon, you saw what happened on that evening. It was a great contest between Goto and Roode. There's no other way of saying it, but the reality was that when the match ended, Hirooki Goto was no longer the US champion, rolled up by Bobby Roode in a very surprising outcome. Goto was just said he was caught just a little off guard, and in that 1 second gap he left open, he lost his US title. Goto regrets it, but he said that he still respects Roode because at the end of the day, it's an athlete's intention to win all the time. And that's exactly what Bobby Roode did. So he congratulated Roode on winning that title regardless of it. Glad to see there is still some respect there between those two guys. Goto will, of course, go one-on-one with one half of the now former World Tag Team Champions. Of course, if you saw him again, you know that Chad Gable and Jason Jordan no longer the World Tag Team Champions. They lost the belts to they lost the belts themselves. What? To the Authors of Pain. And things didn't get better for them last week, it has to be said. A loss to TM61 in quite the surprise. Really kind of put doubts on where American Afro are at right now. Maybe if they need time off. Maybe if they're at 100% or not. You know, all sorts of questions can be raised off of a title loss. Morale is so easily lost once you no longer have a title around your waist. That has to be said. And so here tonight, one side is definitely going to get the chance to gain some momentum back, but which one will it be? Well, I think that answer awaits us right now to kick things off on Raw. Here comes one half of the former tag team champions. Jason Jordan ready to compete and looking a nice little different attire on the go for him as well. Some green, some green tights, I guess. I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, it's a different attire for him. Maybe this is some sort of other thing he's got on the go. Nevertheless, Chad Gable, of course, leading the way right now towards the ring with that towel in hand. American Alpha is still as strong and as ready forever. Are they ready, Willie and Gable, though, to get themselves back towards those World Tag Team titles? And is Jason Jordan able to do that for a huge win over Goto here tonight? Imagine what that would do for Monday Night Raw if Goto was toppled off here by Jason Jordan. What kind of a loss would that be for Goto as well? How would he comprehend such a defeat to Jason Jordan? I'm not saying Jason Jordan's a bad athlete. I'm not saying that at all. If anything, he's been a difference maker in a lot of American Alpha matches. What I'm trying to say is that in terms of singles wrestling, Jordan isn't on the same level as Goto. Goto is proven himself to be a tremendous singles athlete the whole year round. And, yeah, in my mind, as a result of that, he deserves he would be the one to get the win here. But what would happen if Jordan was to win? How much would that shake things up? I know some aggression from Hirooki Goto being shone through there as if he's trying to tell Jason Jordan to maybe, or as if he's trying to get something out of Jordan maybe with that slap across the face. As the arm of Jason Jordan now. The amateur wrestler that is Jason Jordan, of course, may have an advantage here. Goto, of course, just has his power to get him out of this one. And he uses it, pushing Jordan off the ropes. And oh my! Lariat, and down goes Jason Jordan, but only briefly. Forcing himself back up to his feet there. And here goes some shots now. Shoulder tackle, though, and down goes Jason Jordan. It's only brief, but Hirooki Goto and Jason Jordan are sharing the control in this one, it seems, right now. Let's see what Jason Jordan will do. Great Northern Light suplex. Oh, my goodness. And a second one on its way. Incredible to witness, but Goto kicking out of it almost instantaneously as if he didn't care there. Goto, though, back in there. Big headbutt to Jason Jordan. And Goto comes running right into that drop kick. Just seeing what Jason Jordan can do in this one right now. Seeing how he can prove himself and show really what he's worth here on Monday Night Raw. And just to see where American Alpha are just over a week after those tag team titles being taken away from them, courtesy of the Authors of Pain. Same can be said, of course, for Goto a week after that loss. And, of course, last week on Raw, both guys suffered defeats. I already talked about American Alpha's defeat to TM61. I didn't discuss was Hirooki Goto's defeat to Marty Scurll in the main event of last week's Raw, because that certainly happened as well upon the return of the villain to Raw. It certainly seems as if that has settled in Goto's mind, because there's a lot of aggression coming through from this man right now, and Jason Jordan isn't exactly doing much to retaliate against it in these moments. Good counter there from Jordan. No, maybe I spoke too soon. Turns him round. Jason Jordan might have been taking a German suplex in a great position like there to hit it. Oh, what a lariat from behind by Goto. And a chin lock will be applied here. Can Jason Jordan get himself out of this chin lock now and maybe try and get himself back into this match for American Alpha for their causes heading into the new year? This goes the final Raw of 2018. German suplex from Jordan, and down goes Goto. Can he continue that on in any way? No, might have been thinking belly to belly. Goto is able to stuff it there. Lifts him right back up to his feet. Hirooki Goto in now. What a forearm that was. Jason Jordan in with a counter, though. Puts Goto out on the apron and then brings it back in the ring with an almighty belly to belly suplex. This is really competitive stuff from both men being shone through in this contest right now. Socked him with that strike there, Jordan. He'll go into the cover. Thinks he's done enough to put away Goto. Not going to happen. Might have been thinking a chin lock maybe there as well, but Goto in with a great counter. Right place, right time. Goto in now. Ushigoroshi from Goto. One move left. But Goto decides against it, goes into the cover, thinks Ushigoroshi is enough, and the former World Tag Team Champion kicks out at the count of one. And not only that, but he gets right back up to his feet. Big lariat. Jason Jordan swinging right now. May see one final opportunity for victory in front of them. Shoulder tackle in the turnbuckle. Big knee in the face as well. Goto reeling maybe. And he could have come so close to victory, but not close enough. No, look, he can't slam it for that other light suplex. Goto able to stop him. And Goto in. Goto in. GTR. Goto Revolution connects. Gable only watches on the outside as Hirooki Goto defeats Jason Jordan. And at least the former United States champion can take some solace in this victory. Goto is your winner here, and he is almightily proud of it as well. Jason Jordan, American Alpha, suffering another defeat. That's 3 within a week of each other. But the question has to be for Goto now, is there something for him heading into this new year? Is there something to take Goto further into 2019? Is there another chance to recapture that US title just over the horizon for him? You got to think with the way he lost it, that may be the case. May be, of course. Nevertheless, time to move on to our next contest here, a tag team match, and one that might belong in a house show, but who knows what the tag team division is planning. Anyway, let's move on. It's Magnum Opus versus the Ascension. Alright, well, here we are, ready to go in this tag team match. Magnum Opus versus the Ascension. We are officially underway between them. Shame that the Ascension didn't get an entrance there either, but, you know, I actually like that team, so it's the only reason I really wanted one for them. Nevertheless, here we go between these two sides. Great potential battle on its way here as both sides look to chalk themselves up to, towards something. This may be a part of what we saw from last week. You know, we saw TM61 being given the opportunity, and the same could be said for the Ascension and Magnum Opus right now to get that chance to really shine a little bit. Think about it. It's kind of been... Oh my goodness, there goes Victor on the outside by Sandow. But anyway, what I was going to say was it's kind of been a troublesome situation in the tag team division right now, where with the Authors of Pain as the World Tag Team Champions, there's kind of that idea with American Alpha slipping a little bit as to who can really take those titles away from them. You look at the division and you think American Alpha are the top dogs. The Revival are up there as well. Sorry, as I say American Alpha, I meant the Authors of Pain are the top dogs. American Alpha are kind of slipping right now. The Revival probably next in line beneath them, but then after that it's a very slippery slope, I think is the best way of putting it. And the same could be said for the Raw Women's Division as well, but that seems to be all changing here tonight with a fabulous contest on its way coming up next. But the tag team division certainly has potential talents in it. I mean, think about it. You got Heavy Machinery, TM61, the Ascension. The 6 teams I've named there who all have great potential within them. And then you got Magnum Opus. We'll just gloss over them once. Good counter there by Sandow. I will give credit every time I do watch Magnum Opus in action. I feel sorry for Sandow, because he's always trying to carry this team to the very top. And you can see how useless Magnum Opus are. They haven't even brought out the stagehands this time around. Probably because they're still reeling from Survivor Series. Who knows, really? Let's be honest, it was a complete embarrassment for Magnum Opus at Survivor Series. But Sandow continuing to fight right there. Back elbow to corner. Oh, but gets struck from behind there by Victor of the Ascension. Single underhook suplex. And that might be just how the Ascension can work together so well, as you saw it right there. Went for some kind of move there, but a great counter from Damien Sandow sends him into the turnbuckle. Sandow taunting a little bit. Can he make that? Will he make the tag into Aiden English here? He most certainly will. Let's see what Magnum Opus have in store right now. A little bit of a theatrical performance as they send him on his way. Double back body drop, and Connor goes down. A big counter there though. Back body drop, and down goes Aiden English there, hitting the mat hard. Sadly for him, Magnum Opus could not continue to have control. Oh, Victor getting involved there, though. And he'll tag himself in as well. Very interesting indeed there. The scenes from Victor in this one. Almost demanding that he takes control around here. And that is exactly what he's doing right now. Aggressive side to Victor being demonstrated here on this episode of Raw. The Ascension have control right now. Aiden English trying to make that crawl into Sandow, and it was almost like Victor teased him, let him crawl that far, and then just took it away from him right at the very end. Forearm attempt, great counter thrust, kick in the gut by Victor. The former ECW Tag Team Champions working hard here to try and pick up a victory. Open over that top rope, hanging on is Aiden English. And it's not going to go that well for them, though. Victor in position. Nasty back suplex on that apron for Aiden English. Oh, poor Magnum Opus. Feeling more pain and punishment. Back in the ring we come now. And a running knee right in the face there. Victor thinks it's enough. He covers Aiden English. Sandow makes the save. See the way the Ascension stared down Sandow there in that moment. I may have had some chills running through Sandow's spine. Who knows? Good counter there by... was that a counter? I'm not too certain. Whatever it was. Connor just got knocked off the apron by it. And Victor going to make it pay with an STO. Connor getting up to his feet quickly on the outside. And I think this match is about to be on its way to over. Tag made. Here we go. Line it up. And the Ascension will finish it. The move is incoming. Fall of man. Thanks for playing Aiden English. But you are out of here. No. Sandow going to make the save. Victor just kind of stopped running. What the hell was that all about? Big mistake there, and look at that, it's gifted a lifeline. Oh my goodness, this is almost sad to see, given where the Ascension were once at, one of the most dominant tag teams in this universe, and they can't even finish Aiden English with a damn fall of man. What is this all about, guys? You are much better than this. You're actually making Aiden English look competent. Actually, no, you're making yourselves look foolish. Let me refrain from saying that one. Aiden English up on that second rope right now, and Victor didn't seem too pleased about it as he knocks him off from it. Look at this. So that was the... Oh my god, that was the perfect opportunity. Look who's just tagged himself in. Sandow back in this matchup right now. Hungry and ready to go, but unable to take the opportunity when it's right in front of him. Maybe he will. Big punch in the gut there by Sandow. Running lariat. Down goes Connor. And a forearm as well. Sandow trying to get them back in this. Stopped. And no, countered. Great counters at that as well. But Victor making the difference again in this one. Probably making up for his mistake from earlier as well. And let's see if Sandow can do anything. Oh no, taken for a ride. Almighty flapjack there from Connor. And I think this match, oh, this time, it better be on its way to ending. The Ascension are better be on their way to destroying themselves towards a victory. Fall of man strikes again. Let this one do the damage, please. Victor in for the cover. Aiden English not even bothering to get into the ring. And it's over. The Ascension mercifully have won it. But they looked far from their best. They looked far from what made them tag team champions back in the day. This was a much more disappointing performance from the Ascension, and this may go to show just where the difference lies in the tag team division, where the top are and where the bottom are. And I'd hate to say it about these guys, but the Ascension as it currently stands are teetering in the bottom. I mean, come on. They hit a fall of man and they couldn't finish the job. That's not saying good things about Magnum Opus, that's saying bad things about the Ascension. There's still time, but I think it could be a while before we see teams like these guys really able to make a charge towards the Authors of Pain. We could be in for a bit of an Authors of Pain reign over Monday Night Raw. Nevertheless, it is time. It is time for the debut of Kairi Sane. Are we ready? Talked about this already, of course. It is not going to be an easy contest for her either. She's not getting a free pass on this one. She has to earn her victory. And she has got a tough opponent, a very tough opponent to do that against. Gail Kim, with the Mae Young Classic on its way in this universe. The last time we held something of that accord, it was Gail Kim who won the tournament. And now, here she is on Monday Night Raw, ready to try and topple the debut of Kairi Sane and make this a moment for Gail Kim to be talked about once again. But the reality is that Kim has a real tall order in front of her. This is not an easy match, and this is not a match where we should be thinking about a a match that, you know, where Gail Kim is obviously going to walk out with the win. This is going to be a match where Kim is on the back foot more so than anything, because finally she has arrived to Monday Night Raw. It is Kairi Sane. She's here. The former NXT Women's Champion has made it onto Monday nights. What a sight this is to behold. In my opinion, if you need a woman who possesses the NXT brand and the women's division within it, look no further than her. Go no further than Kairi Sane. This is a woman who shows what it means to be a talent of the NXT women's division, to be created from that brand. Heart, soul, determination, and a beloved nature from the crowd. Kairi Sane has all of it. I said about Sting having the headlines from when he closed out Raw. I never thought I'd say this, but I think there were more people talking about Kairi Sane at the end of Monday Night Raw than there was Sting. And that is the difference maker. That goes to show what Kairi Sane has already done in this universe, and she gets to continue her legacy and start it on the big stages here on Monday Night Raw. One-on-one against Gail Kim. This is a treat we are in for. Without a doubt, my favorite woman from the NXT Women's Division I've ever seen. Better than, probably the best in my opinion. And she takes on a woman who went through who skipped all of that by winning the then Queen of the Ring tournament. Kairi Sane versus Gail Kim here. Sane's debut on Monday Night Raw has officially begun. And here we go. Big drop kick there, and Sane goes down at the start though. It's been a little while since both these women were in action, to be fair, but they've both had plenty of time to train. And let's see what they can do in this moment here to really shine. Big backstabber from Gail Kim. She connected with that one hard, following the snap suplex. Cover on Sane, who kicks out at one. Let's see. I've got good eyes on this one. This has been, when I knew this match was happening, when I saw the card for the show and I saw that this was happening, honestly, I was more excited for this than the main event, just to see Kairi Sane in action once again. It's been far too long. And here she goes, but oh, Gail Kim is coming out with a vengeance factor of her own. She knows this is an opportunity for her as well, not just for Kairi Sane. Big strikes, nasty knee in the face as well. Sane looking a little bit frustrated here in her debut on Monday Night Raw. She cannot let that get away from her. This is a huge opportunity for Sane, of course. Former NXT Women's Champion, as I previously mentioned. I think she held the belt for about 5 months, but she had to hold off every title defense she was in. It was almost like she had her back up against the wall. I mean, she had to deal with the Iconic Duo, and then from basically March onwards, she had to deal with Trifecta, and that was the true tester for Kairi Sane, enduring Trifecta for as long as she did. She was a part of the final 2 women in the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match, and in my opinion, the legacy she has left behind on NXT is one that I don't think will be beaten even by Trifecta. It was Sane who brought in that new era of women's wrestling within NXT. It was Sane who transformed the NXT Women's Division into what it has become in my eyes. And as a result of that, it is why I say that Kairi Sane is the best women's wrestler to come out of NXT. Not just recently, but in my opinion, of all time. There are some great women's wrestlers who have come through there. Nikki Cross, of course, is one. Ruby Riott is another. But I don't think they have toppled, or they will topple, this woman in Kairi Sane. And as an awful lot of praise, I've just given her away, considering she is having a very back and forth matchup right now with Gail Kim. Because Gail Kim is a veteran of the women's division. She knows it in and out. This has been her whole life. And whereas Kairi Sane, of course, is still young, still has plenty of her career left to look forward to, Gail Kim is the veteran of this place, and she is the benchmark to see what you're capable of as well. Gail Kim is making life really difficult for Kairi Sane right now. Great counter by Sane there, reverses the chop and sends Gail Kim into the turnbuckle. And let's see what she'll do here. Shoulder tackle. Kairi Sane Taking a pirate's walk, maybe, over from one side of the corner, over from one side of the ring to the other, and runs at it with a sliding elbow right there. Great work by Sane. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Insane elbow. Kairi Sane for victory. No. Gail Kim kicks at it too. And Sane almost questioning, how was the elbow not good enough? She covers again, and again Gail Kim kicks out. Sane can hardly believe it, and so can I. But I think the simple reality is she hadn't done enough. Gail Kim had been getting in offense throughout this contest, and Kairi Sane simply had not. And that's why she hadn't done enough to pick up the win in that moment. But that being said, she now is in the driver's seat of this contest here. Countered by Gail Kim. Kicks her in the gut. Kim, Irish Whip, brings her in. Oh my goodness, what a kick there right in the face. Gail Kim, no way, no way. She's lining herself up as well. Eat defeat. Eat defeat to Kairi Sane. Oh, but Sane kicks at it too as well. This is a thrilling contest between these two women. This is insane. Putting everything on the line for this victory right now. Sane, though, going to send her to the turnbuckle. Big shoulder tackle, and down she goes again. Is Sane going to look to... No, she's not going to look for it once more. Instead, just throwing her out there. Nasty impact for Gail Kim, but Kairi Sane keeps on rolling. There is no stopping Sane right now. The Pirate Princess is making a statement here on Monday Night Raw, and ain't no one going to stop her. From one side of the ring to the other, running, clothesline, or an elbow, it's one of the two. And she goes right to the top rope. This will do it. Wait, what the hell? Moonsault from Sane instead. That might have been a call out to NXT's Io Shirai, a friend of Sane's. And we are not going to be seeing the insane elbow. We're going to be seeing the anchor. The anchor applied. Gail Kim wasn't prepared for it. And she taps out. Welcome to Monday Night Raw, Kairi Sane. And there is your benchmark. There is your test. And there is your newest addition to the Raw Women's roster. And what an arrival it is as well. And what a star it is to go with it. A shake of the hands between these two women. From one generation of women's wrestling to the next, Kairi Sane celebrates as the winner. And a great way to start things off on Monday Night Raw for her as well. It's a pleasure to see her here. Let's see what she'll have for us as things go on this brand. Can't wait to see more of Sane, and especially if she's going to be putting on thrilling matches like that one all the time. That has to be said. Nevertheless, Gail Kim looked good in defeat as well, but it's time to move on. We were supposed to be to action, but I have been told it is time to hear from the new United States Champion, Bobby Roode. And there he is, the US Champ. Roode did it at Armageddon even when people thought he wouldn't. It happened for Bobby Roode. He holds that US title, and it is, of course, that is what he's talking about. After a few months of being off the mark, pretty much, he is finally on top of his game. And he is one of the biggest names on Raw, in Roode's eyes, as he should be. A little bit of cockiness there, but Roode dialing it back down to thank the people for willing him on, and thanking him for why he is the United States Champion. A little bit of 50-50 from Roode there, has to be said, but he also is thanking Hirooki Goto for having that match with him. He has to focus on what he's going to do with what Bobby Roode calls a beautiful, prestigious piece of gold. It has to be said for Roode that there is something that is running through his head constantly. Seems since Armageddon, this has been a train of thought for Bobby Roode. So the question is just, what is it about? And it is, of course, about Hirooki Goto's rematch clause. He was not proud. He's not 100% pleased of the way that it ended at Armageddon, and he wants to tackle that, and he has talked to the Raw General Manager, Mr. Dredge, about it, and they have a date sealed for it. Ooh. And there is no time like the present, and there is no time like next week to do it. The very first Monday Night Raw of 2019, Bobby Roode will face Hirooki Goto one-on-one for the US title. Oh, well, that is glorious. Roode versus Goto set for the first Raw of 2019, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be insane. An Armageddon rematch on its way for you. It's going to be glorious. Certainly a huge announcement made there. There's no doubt about it. And I cannot wait to see that happen either. It's going to be great. It is going to be great. And that all comes on the first Raw 2019. And I am oh so ready for it as well. Goto versus Roode for the US title once more. Sign me up. And this time, in my eyes, there has to be a definitive win. There has to be a definitive ending to that match. The roll-up, of course, you can't call a definitive end, but there has to be a way for the other guy to finish the other. 1, 2, 3. No doubt about the end. No doubt about the outcome of that match either. Speaking of guys who had a pretty good Armageddon, though, speaking of guys who did have a definitive outcome at Armageddon, Shelton Benjamin picked up a definitive win over Cesaro and ended things between those two as Pay Dirt brought him down into the mat and brought Shelton Benjamin back into the talking point show on Monday Night Raw. And he'll continue that on against Sami Zayn here, or at least he'll hope to in his eyes. Zayn, of course, has in the big stage has not had the greatest chances to really stand out, but that could all change here tonight with a victory over Benjamin. Drag the carpet from underneath Benjamin and leave him to fall on his face. Drag the momentum out from underneath him and leave him to struggle. That could be Sami Zayn's outcome here tonight. You know Zayn would love a win like that. Think about some of the matches he's had as of late, some huge matches for him on Monday Night Raw. He had Goto just before Armageddon. I think he had Sting as well, was it? Was it? Yeah, I think it was Sting in a one-on-one match. There is no doubt about it that Sami Zayn has been given a treatment of a star here on Raw. And he needs to start picking up some wins to respond for it as well. I've talked about this with a lot of talent on a lot of different shows. There's only so far you can go where you're that guy who has good matches. You have to be that guy who wins those matches as well. And that is what Shelton Benjamin was. And that is where it's all turned around for him as of late. However, it did take abandoning the crowd and blaming them for his failures in order for that to happen. Benjamin versus Zayn, though, right now here on Monday Night Raw. Great match on its way. 3 great matches pretty much in a row right now on Raw. Think about it. Sane versus Kim, Benjamin versus Zayn, and of course that main event coming up next. Sting versus CM Punk. Can't wait for it. But first we got to put ourselves through this matchup. Quick strike in the chest there by Shelton Benjamin as he almost manhandles Zayn there, throwing him across the ring. Big knee in the face to go with it. What is Benjamin going to do right now on Sami Zayn here? He has control early on, but the speed of Sami Zayn just catching him a little off guard is the best way of putting it. Irish whip. Into the turnbuckle. Nice forearm. Just got to watch out when you're in the turnbuckle with Sami Zayn. You never know when the haluva kick might strike and end this matchup here. Big lariat, though. Let's see what Benjamin was hoping for something there. Got denied. Forearms in the face. And Benjamin hitting big with that power bomb. The thing about the gold standard is he can make something out of nothing. It always feels that way to be the case. Great pop-up drop kick though by Sami Zayn, and Benjamin reeling as a result of it. Nasty knee in the face from Zayn as well. Benjamin definitely not at his peak right now. Definitely on the back foot a little bit. Cover made. Will this put him away? Absolutely not. Kick out at 1 from the gold standard. As I said, Benjamin is on a high bit of momentum following Armageddon. He'll want to keep that going. It was a big win to pick up over Cesaro, and he definitely does not want to just let it go there. Oh, double underhook gut buster there. It's a lovely move by Benjamin, I have to say. Even if I don't agree with his morals, even, that's the one I'm looking for. If I don't agree with his morals, if I don't agree with his beliefs, I have to say that he is still a damn fine wrestler at the end of the day. When, you know, steel chairs and the such aren't getting involved. Great T-bone suplex, and Zayn able to kick out early. It's the fight of a former world champion right there in Sami Zayn. Back and forth between these two guys right now, has to be said. Sami Zayn, Blue Thunder Bomb countered. Big counter from Benjamin, and he's going to take a big trip up high as well. Elbow drop on Zayn. Will this be enough to end it? No, Sami Zayn kicking at it too. For the second time tonight, the elbow drop fails to finish a match. What a backbreaker, though. You can almost see Zayn go stiff from the impact of it. Good counter by Sami Zayn there. Pushes Benjamin away, creates separation. Tilt-a-whirl, small package, doesn't go for the cover. Almost turned it into an inside arm drag, essentially. Good neck crank from Zayn there, though. Benjamin kicking the mat, feeling the impact of it, perhaps feeling some pain to go along with it, but still kicking out early on. Sami Zayn now lifting up Benjamin, went for the forearm, gets countered, and paid it! Pay dirt from out of the blue, and Benjamin may have, and just has, finished off Sami Zayn. Shelton Benjamin wins with a very surprising victory out of the blue. Wait a minute, whoa. This match is done here. This match is done. Shelton Benjamin, oh my goodness, Benjamin has brought a chair into the ring now. What is the reasoning for this? Benjamin's going to try and lay one out on Zayn. Here comes Cesaro! Cesaro to the save and chasing off Benjamin with that chair. Cesaro saying things are finished between him and Benjamin as he saves his friend in Sami Zayn. Benjamin walking out of here, still with the win, however. A big save they made for further worse things to happen. Good stuff, but I wonder where that continues on between all those sides. That is a question, though, that we'll have to ask and have an answer to on a different day, because it is time for our main event of the evening, CM Punk one-on-one with Sting. Oh, what a main event this is going to be. Punk just off of that victory at Armageddon over Daniel Bryan, and Punk may have envisioned that this could have been his next match, but on a big stage, but with a title on the line. That is not the case, however. However, should he win, there will be a title match on the line for him, and there's no denying it. CM Punk has a grand chance awaiting him here after a fantastic contest against Daniel Bryan at Armageddon, and a non-title match against Sting here tonight, who could very well turn into a title match, the Royal Rumble, if CM Punk wins. And let's see if that'll happen here tonight. It is a grand main event, whichever way you look at it. Title implications on the line or not, we are still being treated to two of the very best wrestlers on Monday Night Raw. Both these guys have achieved great success within this universe, and both these guys as well have plenty to talk about their careers. I've said this about CM Punk on many an occasion, the most successful man in terms of world titles won in this universe, 5 of them. No one comes close to CM Punk. There are people on 4, there are people on 3, but no one has 5. But at the same time, no one but this man has the World Heavyweight title, and that is what matters the most on Monday Night Raw. Marty Scurll can beg to have it, he doesn't. CM Punk can say he's won it before, but he hasn't won it now. There is only one world champion in this moment, and his name is Sting. A great Armageddon, capped off with a great title defense for Sting as well, when he defended that world title in what suddenly became a triple threat match between Sting, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and the man who cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, Roman Reigns. Tanahashi remained unpinned, but his undefeated streak, quote-unquote, came to an end at Armageddon. Sting was the one to win, pinning Roman Reigns and keeping his career alive. Sting, of course, has said from day one that he held that title. When he loses it, it's game over. It's done for the Sting. There will be no more Sting once that world title is no longer around his waist. And of course, you knew that the man who would want to have that is an old rival of both of these guys, and a current rival once again of the Stinger, Marty Scurll. Sting took care of him a little bit last week, and now we get to be treated with an insane main event. Here we are underway. A main event that a match that could main event any pay-per-view. Given for free right now on Monday Night Raw, and I don't think Sting took too kindly to that cheap shot against the ropes there by CM Punk, and he's going to treat him with some respect. Back and forth by both guys right there. Saito suplex by Sting though, and Punk comes down hard on his neck and his back. Big Sting DDT there as well. And the two-time and current World Heavyweight Champion is rolling against the five-time champion. Punk though able to put the brakes on that one briefly. Good kicks in the legs. Stopped though in his tracks. An incoming atomic drop there by the Stinger, and he's going to hit it again. Another atomic drop, and Punk goes down. Sting feeling pretty good about himself right now, has to be said, and why wouldn't you? You have been on a roll, and the only thing to derail you has been Survivor Series. Big DDT though from Punk. Think about it. Survivor Series is the only loss in about 3 months for Sting. It was a tough loss though. 15 German suplexes, 2 F5s, and a bloodied Sting by the end of it. He was defeated. That being said, when it comes to Monday Night Raw, he is still the top dog around here, even if CM Punk, it seems, doesn't want him to have a hand and any fingers to go along with it anymore. Punk is showing a vicious side to himself right now. He knows what's at stake here, and he is taking full advantage of it. It's the thing about Punk, he can turn on a very aggressive switch like that. It's just a click of a finger for Punk, and he becomes this very aggressive, mat-based, assaulting kind of guy, as opposed to the exuberant personality that we also know him as. That can change so quickly, but the same can be said for Sting as well. From a guy who we hold in such high esteem and we call him the face of Monday Night Raw, to a guy that just becomes, well, we've seen it against Scurll. We saw it against Scurll at No Way Out, the series finale. A no-shit-taking kind of guy who will gladly punish you for thinking you, for a person thinking too highly of themselves or thinking that they could take apart Sting or disrespecting Monday Night Raw. He doesn't stand for that, and he makes you pay for it. And he did just that in an emphatic fashion to win the belt almost 3 months ago. Sting rolling here though at about 100 miles an hour. He has control of this contest right now. There's no other way for it. Big electric chair on Punk. And Sting going to go into the cover. Only a 1 count on Punk, however. Went for a neck crank after it, and the 5-time world champion able to evade it. Can the best in the world capitalize here? Welcome to Chicago on its way. He got him with it. And Punk sees that as a forerunner to a trip to the top rope being on its way. Punk up high. Gonna look for the elbow drop. For the 3rd time tonight, an elbow drop will connect. And Punk goes into the cover. His 3rd time the charm for it. Hell no. A kick out that early. But Punk, is he thinking GTS? Is he thinking Anaconda Vice? It was the Anaconda Vice that finished off Daniel Bryan at Armageddon. Took 3 of them, but there was no GTS present on that evening. Could we see one here tonight? Sting able to get out of that body lock there with a great bit of work. And here goes the Stinger. Tombstone. Got him! Big tombstone strikes. And Punk all of a sudden looks in trouble. No, he doesn't. Great counter for Punk. Socked him in the face. Punk kicking the gut. Oh no! Pile driver from Punk! Pile driver! Sting goes down, and here's his opening! Anaconda Vice! Stitched in! Locked in deep on the world champion! Will Sting tap out? Is Punk gonna beat Sting on Raw? No! Not if Sting has anything to say about it. He gets himself out of that hold, And this one ain't done. Punk goes down with a hard jab right in his face. And Sting starting to fight back now, doing everything he can to walk out with this win. Sting in. Great counter by Punk. Elbowed him in the face. He knew what was incoming and countered it. Drop toe hold now. Can Punk start fighting back here? Spinning kick in the gut here by Punk. Let's see what he'll do. Irish whip off the ropes. There's one drop kick. There's another. Ducks the punch, grabs it and hits a neck breaker. Great bit of work there from CM Punk. And he'll go up high again. Another elbow drop maybe on its way. Punk lines it up. And oh, he took too long. Took too long and Sting evaded. Running bulldog from the Stinger now. And that split-second decision from Punk, that's what cost him. And that's what gave Sting the advantage to continue on here. These two guys know each other so well. Stinger splash, despite it being their very first meeting. Sting, not going to look for the Scorpion Death Drop, but the Scorpion Deathlock will be applied. Middle of the ring. It was this move that won him the belt at No Way Out. And with nowhere to go, will Punk end up the same as his hated former rival in Marty Scurll? Punk is hanging in there and he's out of it as well. He survives a little bit longer. Big kick in the gut by Punk as well. Oh, a huge lariat as well. You see the way he followed through with it. He's going to go up high again. Is he going to go for another elbow drop maybe? Indeed he will. This time he gets it on Sting. Oh, but he's showing the signs of fatigue in this one. He's showing that he's not at his peak performance. And Sting pushes him away as well. God, these guys are doing absolutely everything for the victory, has to be said. Big back elbow from the Stinger, and Punk hits hard and into the mat as well. There's a cut forming on Punk's face. I only just noticed. Up and over the top rope goes CM Punk into the outside. Sting for the count. No! It's the villain and all! Low blow to Sting. God damn it, a low blow from Scurll. And Marty will end the show on top again. The villain standing above a broken vigilante.